Hello and welcome to a live stream. So today, as it says in the title, I'm going to be talking about my experience in this voice studio audience. So basically, it was really amazing experience, and I actually want to do it again. So I'm going to tell you what I can tell you, like if you ever want to, if you've ever in the studio audience, just so like some tips and everything, and basically just like my experience and things that I can tell you, pretty much. So just basically travelled down there, and it was like in Manchester, Media City, UK, and basically I had to like, there was two queues. There was priority and there was general admission. So the priority wristbands, they was for like, they was like the people who were guests of the cast, crew, etc. And then like there was also like people who'd got priority because they'd not got into like a previous show. And then the general admissions, I was at the front of the queue for the general admissions, like because I got there super early to make sure I was at the front of the queue. I was not going to be at the back of the queue and not get in for nobody. I was because loads of people were turned away, because they only accepted like about 60 generals, because there was blue wristbands for generals and then there was white wristbands for generals. So there was like 50 blue wristbands, and then there was like loads of white wristbands after that, and only 10 white wristband people got in. I was blue wristband. So what happened was like we had to like, we was brought into like the foyer part where they was giving the wristbands out, and there was two lines, priority, and then there was some of the generals in a line, and they gave the priority wristbands to the priority ones, and then they moved on to the general admission line. So after we'd got our wristbands, like we had to put our phones into like this bag with this like raffle ticket type thing, and then we had to like hand our phones in, and then we had to have our bags searched for security reasons, and then we had to basically be wandered down by them like security things that they have, and then we was like in this waiting area, and we basically sat in there for a while. It was like a bar type thing as well. So we sat in there for a while, and if you left your seat would be gone within seconds, because there was literally people standing around, there was people sitting on the floor, and apparently that wasn't even the day that it was most packed. So I dread to think what it'd be like if it was more packed. So anyhow, eventually after a while of waiting, they started calling the wristbands in. So they called the they called the like gold and silver and the purples, to make sure that all of them had gone in, and then they started calling them red wristbands, and they said red wristband below a certain number, and then finally they got onto the blue wristbands, and they says blue wristbands below 420. I was 401, which was the first blue wristband, which was basically like said he could take another 50, and like when we was up outside of the actual studio thing, and then like eventually they took another 10, which was the white wristbands, but all of us, like we had to go round in the studio, like it was round like curtains in the studio. In the studio, I was like, it's even better real life. Words can't express how amazing it looks when you in real life, and like you just like don't realise all that's to like actually program, until you see it being recorded. But like it was like there wasn't loads and loads and loads and loads of cameras, but there was cameras, and there was like all 360. But like when we was all like, the ushers showed us to our seats, and like mine and my mum's seats were like diagonal. We was like at the side of Will, but like it was still a really amazing view. But it wasn't exactly at the side of Will. It was 3 rows behind Ollie Murs' guests, who turned out to be his mum and dad. So like we ended up being 3 meters away from his mum and dad, and we also saw his driver as well, aka Mark Murphy. But we basically like when everyone was sat down, there was like this bloke who like was basically the warm-up guy, and he had to basically like kind of entertain us, and like what happened was like, just trying to remember what happened. He basically was just like told us when we had to clap, when we had to cheer, when we had to like practically do everything, and we just like kept like rehearsing for a bit, and then he introduced Emma Willis, and then she did a bit of like thing. She like did a rap battle against this woman who like goes backstage at The Voice, and interviews coaches. This other woman does, and then Emma Willis got her eel stuck in the grate on the stage, and that was actually funny because she said that someone had to actually pull her out of the, got her eel stuck, and then she ended up getting stuck again, and then she introduced the coaches eventually, but she was just like, she was like trying to wipe the audience up as well. But yeah, eventually she introduced the coaches, and she introduced Ollie Murs first, and when he came on, it was just like everyone was waving to get his attention, including me, of course, like, you know. And then like I think he looked up like to see his like to see his mum and dad, but then like he also noticed me as well, wearing my River Island top that I've got from his collection, and the Ollie Murs Never Been Better Tour t-shirt that I had on, and he gestured his arms up towards me, and like he practically kept looking at me throughout like the whole of the Voice show. And then like there was one point, some people on my row got attacked by this bee, and like I don't know where it came from, no one knows, but this bee was flying around and it attacked some people on my row. It attacked me as well, and I just like wafted it out the way, and then like it attacked someone else, and they wafted it out the way, and then like it was just like quite funny, to be honest. And then it went down and attacked Will, and like he wafted it out the way, and then Emma Willis says, "Are you alright there, Will?" And he says, "Oh, it's just this like random bee attacking me." And then like I was laughing, and no word of lie, Ollie literally looked up at me, and he started laughing as well, and that was like quite shocking. And then like we just like kept, we had to keep we had to keep like doing the same thing, because they had to record some scenes, and Emma Willis like recorded the outro at one point, and it took about 3 takes before she got it right, and then because like she kept messing up, because like she kept getting distracted, and then after that she basically went on to record the last battle. Like all the battles were like really good, like there's like lots of talent on there this year, and I'm not joking. But it's basically like the best experience ever that you can have. It was like a party, to be honest. It was just like everyone was having a really, like really positive, happy, and yeah. And then eventually, when it had finished recording, we basically had to just go out, collect our phone. We had to then go and collect our phones, and then like we saw like we was gonna go and like try and meet the voice coaches, and like we actually went to the back entrance, and like on the way there we actually saw this like person who was in Coronation Street. I think it was Lloyd, but he was standing outside this hotel that was there. But then we went to like the back part of the studios where the coaches would be let out, and I missed Ollie Murs by 5 minutes, but I met Kevin, the warm-up guy, and even though I couldn't meet Ollie because we had to rush for the train, the tram thing, Metrolink, to actually go to the train station. I gave this like woman on the door the letter I've written Ollie Murs, and she said she'd pass it on to him. So then, like the next day, this woman who we'd like met in the queue, who was behind us in the queue, we asked her. I asked her if the woman at the door had given Ollie the letter, and she had given the letter. So yeah, I'm happy about that. That's like one thing accomplished. So 2 things accomplished. Ollie Murs has my letter. He's probably read it. And number 2, he noticed me quite a lot, which that's all I can ask for. And hopefully, if I go to the voice again, like we'll be more like we'll know more. We'll know more about what to do. Like have a better plan, because it was we was given tickets like 2 weeks before, so it was basically just like my mum didn't really know I'd applied for tickets until I told her that I had actually got tickets. But it was quite rushed. But if I'd have told my mum got tickets, could have like done a lot of searching up before I applied for tickets. Could have done a bit of searching up, and then yeah. But I just like didn't tell her I'd applied for tickets, and then I got tickets, and it was amazing moment when I thought I'm going to be sitting in the same room as Ollie Murs, and like legit, it's like a concert, but it's like more like intimate type thing, because there's not as many people there as a concert. Like there's like 400, 500 people there. I think there was about 460, I think, but I'm not too sure. But it was an amazing experience. So I'm trying to keep a positive mindset here. If I go again, or when I go again, hopefully I can try and meet the coaches, especially Ollie Murs, and like we'll have a better plan, be able to wait outside longer, and everything. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video, live stream, and I will see you all in the next video that I make, and I hope you enjoy going in the studio audience for a show, whatever it is. If you do go in the studio audience for a show, but I will tell you one thing, it's an amazing experience, and like you just like can't experience anything like it, to be honest. It's just different being like, because you're like at a concert, like you're in like an arena type setting, but then like to be in a TV studio setting type thing, it's just like another world completely. But yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.